Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, playing a vampire air elementalist of Kiku Bakudga. You'd think I'd have more trouble with Kiku Bakudga, this totally made-up word, than elementalist, but that's always a tongue twister for me for some reason. And we are practicing for week 6 of the Crawl Sudden Death Challenge. We just wrapped up Dungeon 7, picked up Kiku in the temple on 7. Yeah, it was down here. Man, this was a slow start. I realized looking at the last video's length. Alright, so we've got some new robes to try on. Cool. Not that good. Let's keep the fire resistance, but I want to, I think, yeah, I would rather have the leather armor and 9 armor instead of 3, even if it means I'm losing out on fire resistance, which is a good thing to have, don't get me wrong. So I'm keeping it in case I find a volcano or something. Do we have any scrolls to identify? No. Spells? Animate Skeleton is fine. But it's kind of I'd rather just wait for Animate Dead, honestly. Hope I get it. I will pick up Control Undead. Because it's a nice way to deal with undead threats. I mean, no big surprise there. That's right, and there's some sort of weird vault on 6, but I don't have digging yet. Alright. Moving on, what did we get here? A giant gecko. Okay, we're not going to melee him, I'll tell you that much. Because we're not meleeing things today. Ooh. Ooh, you don't say. I guess all this really has that I want is Blink. Slow is alright, but I've already got Repel Missiles. What else is in that book? Yeah, and none of the others. I'm not really very good at any of the other stuff. But I mean, even just Blink, I'm happy to pick up. I'm not going to train it at the moment. I've got other stuff to work on. Do I? I'm working on Corpse Rot, which doesn't have a power component. So I guess what I'm really working on is Control Undead. And I would rather have Blink, I think. So I'm gonna train up translocations. You would think vampires would be good at that, right? Getting in and out of places? I don't know, but apparently they're not. And I'll just let Necromancy hit 5 and hopefully remember to turn it off after that. Probably, though, I'll just forget, and that'll be fine, too. You know, Kiku is our god, and we want to make Kiku happy by training Necromancy. I don't think Kiku actually cares how much Necromancy you train, but, using your god abilities, the effectiveness is based on your Necromancy skill. Let's stand here. Yeah, there we go. Now we can get the zaps. Get them zaps. All right, I remembered. Look, it's off. I did it. A+. Well, that's disastrous. I don't want to fight a Rolka at all. So I'm going to back up, turn into a bat, and just book it as much as I can. I'm worried if I turn this way, she's just going to catch up to me, but I don't want to go into this unexplored area. And the stairs... I'm going to go into unexplored area. I can juke whatever I find up here as a bat, and I don't want to be in a Rolka's line of sight. Normally, you would want to avoid retreating into unexplored space, and I still wanted to, but it was more important to me to stay out of a Rolka's line of sight than to stay out of line of sight of some nebulous threat that might not be there, especially when I know I can juke it as a bat. Let's just annotate this with an exclamation point so I remember. At least I don't have to, like I did last week, remember not to kill all the uniques. God, what a disaster. What a nightmare that was. And let's needle this guy once, I guess. Fly away. And now we can just zap him, sure. There's a Rolka again. If I step here, she won't see me. And I can judge where she's going. That way. Okay. So we'll go this way. Easy game. Oh, Orc Priest? 2 Orc Priests? Count me out. Back to the stairs. And I'll see if I can lure 1 or 2 of these orcs upstairs with me, or kill them on the way. Okay. Ooh, new potion? Can't identify it. Alright. What stairs haven't I tried? There's 1 set left, isn't there? Yeah, over here. I was looking around today, and I saw, right now as I'm recording this, there are 2 players who are broadcasting their games on Twitch at this moment. So I would be happy to be watching those as well, but I wanted to get some recording in. I watched Celerity for, I don't know, half an hour or something. And Gamma Funk is also streaming. I think it's tournament games. I don't know. He might still just be speedrunning .16, now that I think of it. That's what he does most of the time. Yeah, I don't mind if this zap hits me, honestly. I just want to hit the Orc Priest twice. So that's like a trade-off you can make there, right? Is you can choose to hit yourself with a spell if you think it's not going to be a big deal and it'll get you a better attack on some enemy that you're particularly worried about. Gosh, Rolka again. How am I for Curari? 3. So I'm thinking I back off. Yeah, I wanted to like have a turn to shoot Curari at her, but it was never quite convenient enough. So I don't know. We may get a shot at Arolka, but I think just leaving her alone is the wise thing to do. Yeah, and even like a regular ogre, it's, not a huge threat, but you have to be careful, not get nailed by it. I guess now that we're up at like 70 health, we can afford to play a little bit carelessly with ogres, but you still want to have an escape ready. Because they can hit quite hard with a giant spiked club. Or even a giant club. I mean, the difference between them is only like a couple of damage, I think. And it's like 20 versus 22 or something. So they can hit quite hard with either of their big weapons. And when you add in ogre's base damage, you can be hit quite hard if they roll high. I don't know how hard. That's something I guess I should know, is like, what's the most damage an ogre can do to you in one turn? That's sort of a useful number to know. And I know it for worms, but that's like the only monster I know it for, which seems kind of pointless because, I don't know, I guess it's fine because worms are one of the few things you can just choose. I don't know if there's a corpse in there. I'm going to go ahead and cast Corpse Rot again. I get him? I got him. Nice. And then there's some Static Discharge, and down he goes. Cool. This orc has not noticed me. He's just like, there's something funny going on here. Oh, interesting. It only rotted one of the corpses in the area. I wonder why that was. I just don't know how this works, apparently. So we were getting this stuff. Put on this amulet ASAP. That's fine. So now my MP counts as HP too. Like when enemies hit me, some of it'll be done as MP damage. Adam Zap, a Hill Orc fighter. Well, we basically have no way to deal with him at all, but we can run away. I was when I was watching Celerity, he's playing a Naga Venom mage, and he sort of remarked that the primary problem that his character has is just a complete lack of options for player ghosts, and it really is just quite. It's very true. There's nothing he can do against most player ghosts. Most characters, like, you see a player ghost, and it's like, what do I do? I know, I'll run away. Because you just shouldn't be fighting them, and you can run away. But Nagas are so slow. Oh, come on, get poisoned, would ya? That he just sort of died, and I was watching him, and I was like, not really anything he could have done there. He just saw a player ghost, and then I was like, okay, your character is dead. You know, Venom mages obviously don't have a lot of offensive tools against ghosts who are not susceptible to poison. And then you don't have defensive options because you can't run away. And, you know, later in the game, you'll have access to a bigger variety. Wait, Erica and Arolka? This is horrible. Later in the game, you'll have more offensive options and also more defensive options in the form of, like, escape scrolls and so on. And we have, I think, teleportation, right? So we can get away if we have to, even if we couldn't turn into a bat. But if you find them early enough that you haven't identified this kind of stuff, you're just basically dead. What I would kind of like to be able to do is kill this hippogriff and then use its corpse to poison Erica, right? Would that be cool or what? I'm a little bit dubious that that is going to actually happen. But I guess I'll go ahead and nail Erica with some Curari to slow her down and give me time to deal with this hippogriff. Alright, it missed the hippogriff and hit Erica, which is cool, I guess. Hippogriff is almost dead. Did she zap a wand? No. I saw the word zap, but it was me casting a spell. Okay, so now there was no corpse from the hippogriff, sadly. What spells can she cast? Confuse and Slow would kind of stink, but it's not a huge deal. I think I'm just gonna zap her a bit. Yeah, you've got invisibility, but vampires can see invisible. Haha. Miscast Shock, really. Got her. Nice. Let's just drink all this. Sure. I needed some health back. And there's Arolka. We could try to Curari her as well, but we're sort of low on magic, and I'd rather just rest for a little while first, at least. And Arolka has a much more varied spell set. Like, there's 5 different spell books, and they each have 4 or 5 spells, and I mean, ugh. Almost anything can happen to you when you fight Arolka. And they all have, like, one quite nasty spell in them. I guess book 2 isn't that bad for a vampire, but, like, yeah, the others all have one really nasty spell, like Paralyze or Crystal Spear or Banishment. So you just don't really want to mess with that. We do have magic resistance, which means that, like, all the stuff that should be paralyzing or banishing us is much less likely to do so. But there's just not really a good value in fighting Arolka if we don't have a particularly good terrain for it. Like, a reason I was willing to fight Erica was that I anticipated I might be able to use Corpse Rot because of the hippogriff that was there. And also Erica is more predictable and can't do the same sorts of terrible things to you. Whereas with Arolka, you know, one wrong step and something quite bad could happen, even if it's rather unlikely. So, I don't know. I just played it what seemed like safe to me. Took a little risk by fighting Erica, but I had escape available, and the experience is nice. So I feel like it was alright. And you could make a case for fighting Arolka too, I think, but if I don't get presented with an opportunity to have an unfair fight against Arolka, I think I'm just not going to. Is that really the closest downstairs up there? Are there any that are not up there, please? Like, that one would be fine. There's that ghost. I don't know what my chance would be to control him if I cast Control Undead. Probably not very good yet. My Necromancy skill is not high. Like, spell power of 4 is alright, but not great. Plus, it would have like a 20% chance to just fail. Possibly even giving me some bad miscast effect. Like, I don't know, making me rot or something. I gotta, like, sort of... So I think the Necromancers have to think about the most character archetypes don't, is what do you do with the corpses on the ground? You have to make choices about them, right? Normally it's just like you leave them there or you chop them up if you're hungry. And this is not where I want to be. Yeah, he's only lightly wounded. Okay, I think I'm going to have to sort of try to dance around him here. All right, he got one hit on, and it missed. But as a vampire, you have to be like, you know, I could bottle this guy's blood, but then he won't be available for corpse rot, or later when we get it, animate dead. And these are not, like, super compelling choices that are really hard to make most of the time, but you do have to sort of think about it. I have removed curse, right? Yeah, okay. All right. Just hoping it might be a Staff of Death or Air or something. Yeah, we don't want any food. I have my hunting sling on A. Well, let's switch. I'd rather the blowgun be on A, actually. My primary weapon. Oh, look, I can hit like 2 gnolls at once. It's the best part about being an air elementalist, is just getting to enjoy those lineups. Look at that, hitting gnolls left and right. Again, oh, so many gnolls. Oh, the humanity. Hunolity? Gnolmanity? Yeah. I should stop exploring with such low health total, not health, but magic totals. It seems like it's not a big deal, but I could run into something where I would rather have all my magic available. The fact that I'm spending it 1 magic point at a time means it's sort of hard to run out. So it's even less of a big deal than it might otherwise be. What on earth? There's a lot of slime in here. And one of the jellies is awake. Can it eat doors? I think jellies can eat doors. It doesn't say. Maybe that's oozes or something, but I think jellies can eat doors. Jelly. It eats items. It doesn't say it eats doors. I'm not sure what the deal is. Maybe they can eat doors. But I don't think I want to fight all this. Like, what would I even do to it? I don't think I have enough fuel to, like, just zap it all, and my hunting sling is not going to be effective enough. So it seems like shutting the door and then hoping to get away. Like, I will get away, because the stuff that is awake and can get through doors is, like, here. It'll take forever to get there. So I'm just going to turn into a bat and fly away. Yeah, the door... Oh, the door's not gone. It's just down here. I thought this was the door and it had disappeared. That doesn't make any sense. All right. So this area, we're gonna mark it as a no thanks. Even though I think it will open itself up. I heard something. Didn't I hear something? I thought it said I heard something. It looks like I didn't, though. Maybe leather sounded like here? I don't know. I hear a distant slurping noise. Okay, so they probably ate the door. A wolf. I hope there's only one wolf. But okay, wolf's all right. Yeah, there's the jelly. So like one jelly is not a big deal, and I don't think he woke up the others. Like a few of them, a couple jellies woke up when I entered the room. I was going to say I didn't think that the others would be awake since there were no noises to wake them up. But it sounds like maybe the door being eaten woke them up. The slurping noise from that, I guess. And now you just got a bunch of jellies to deal with. And they have less HP than I thought, really. A two-headed ogre. Okay, so that's an issue. Grum, that explains the wolves. Okay. I didn't think about why there were wolves in dungeon when normally there aren't. Are wolves ever normal dungeon spawns? I don't think they are. But this two-headed ogre is a bigger threat than Grum, I think. Does Grum, like, throw anything? I don't think so. I think that's Urug. At any rate, this ogre is the bigger threat. Grum is now invisible. Okay. Well, let's hit him with a needle too, shall we? And back off. How are these guys doing? The ogre is not doing so great. Ah, cancel. Okay, the ogre's almost dead. I'm gonna zap Grum. Actually. Just since I can get them both at once. Yeah, there goes Grum. Or there goes the ogre. Now Grum. And let's back up. Oh, look at that. I can't turn this down, guys. I just can't do it. I mean, it was a fine lineup to make anyway. It's not like I should have turned it down. It was not crucial to do it, but I just like, oh yeah, get those lined up. Zaps. I think that's enough translocations for now. We are a vampire after all. I'm kind of thinking about evocations. Apparently vampires are terrible at that too. Which kind of stinks. I wish I could just go unarmed combat. Like, +1 aptitude is amazing for that. Nobody even has +2 for unarmed combat. And unarmed combat is just generally strong if you can dump a lot of experience into it. Necromancy, I guess. Yeah, I think our stealth is still alright. It doesn't need to be any higher. We're not getting stabs or anything. We're just trying to be capable of avoiding combat. I bet that's Grum's corpse under there, isn't it? So let's, like, poison this wolf. Apparently not. And then cast Corpse Rot on that one. Got him. It probably didn't do a ton of damage, but it did do some, and that's all you can really ask for. Yeah, the double bounces. Okay. Oof, there's just a lot of stuff, though. This game is not going quickly, I'll tell you that. Having to run away from everything, and, you know, unlike a Spriggan where you can just tab a lot of... I mean, in the early games, Spriggans can't tab a lot of stuff, really, but once you start being able to get stabs, you can, quote, tab stuff because it just, like, never wakes up, and you tab it once and then it's dead. And we're like basically never allowed to do that on this character. So it's going to be slow going. You can actually set a spell to tab so that I could push. Is this really where I want to be standing? It doesn't seem that great, actually. This is all right. So that I could push tab to like cast a particular spell. Oh, that doesn't double bounce. Interesting. Where do I want to be then? It's a little bit harder to orchestrate because he's got a pole arm. I'm not really used to trying to position such enemies. How about like that? Sure, that works. But the thing is, with shock, you kind of need to have some manual control over where the shock is aimed, because you don't want to aim right at the enemy. You want to make sure you double bounce. Ow. He's fast. Let's hit him with another needle, please. And then fly away. Okay, that should get him, right? Yeah, he's gonna go down any second now. Please? He did? Hello? Alright, fine, don't. So, I don't know. It just seems to me like this game is going to be a long one. And I'm not a fast player. I'm not... Oh, this is a slime creature. This is the hardest of the things in that vault. Ow. I'm not as slow in normal play as I am when I'm recording. But I'm certainly still not fast either way. And these tournament games are challenging because they give you characters like I don't know, would I ever play a Vampire Air Elementalist? Maybe. Would I ever play a Spriggan Skald? Maybe. Would I ever play a Troll Enchanter? No. No, poison against trolls is not super effective. Ow. That hurts a lot, and I'm going to get out of here before it gets worse. We may not be able to deal with this troll, actually. I guess I can just poison him some more. Got him. Nice. And I will bottle this guy, I guess. No troll hide, that's too bad. But, you know, they also, these games give you specific challenges to meet. Like, you know, I'm doing this really dumb, not in the sense that it's a bad challenge, but in the sense that it's, if it weren't a challenge, it would be bad play. Like, not melee anything. It just is just so rarely right to do that. I mean, you can play like a Deep Elf Conjurer, and even on those guys, I generally get some melee abilities to save magic points. So having to play everything this way is just, it's slowing things down is all. Okay, so that was Dungeon 9. Lair is going to be on 8 through 11 somewhere. So we're halfway through the area where we would expect to be finding Lair. So now we're unlucky in that we didn't find it in the first half. It's somewhere in the second half. But it's not like it's outrageously unlucky. It's just less lucky than average. If you ever like have to go down to Dungeon 11 to find the Lair, it's kind of scary because the stuff on Dungeon 11 is pretty threatening if you haven't even been to Lair yet. Like, here's a hill giant who could do a tremendous amount of damage to us. Shallow water. Okay. If it were deep water, we could use it very effectively to fly around it and mess with this hill giant's pathing. But even shallow water, I think, slows him down. Yeah, and we'll just use poison needles here. I don't think Curare is particularly necessary. Right? Come up this way, please. Whoa. Yeah, so we can actually fly circles around him, kinda. He's severely wounded, that's good. He should be here. So if I go this way, that's... Now he's here? Here? Right? Nope! I don't know. He's moving somewhat irregularly. Are the hill giants slow? I didn't think so. They're not. I don't know why he's pathing so weird. And now I think we can just finish him with zaps. Cool. So that's like... I don't know. This character... I'm having to do everything so tactically. Like, okay, hill giants are big monsters, so they're a threat, right? But, you know, if we were playing a Minotaur Berserker, we would either just tab our way through him and either live or die, or we would run away. And both of those go by very quickly. What am I doing? I meant to be using a blowgun on this guy. But this character... Everything that we do... What? Oh, he's a sky beast, so he's immune to electricity. Fair enough. So every fight just like takes forever. Because we have to like aim spells and so on. Why are you not dead yet is what I would like to know. Okay. Okay. Sorry. And it's slowing down the game a lot, which is more than I expected, really. I don't think it's a problem necessarily. Wow, look at this, guys. We need to take a screenshot of this and put it up on the fridge or something. Because this is dreamy. Look at that. Killed 2 guys, damaged 2 others, 1 spell. Easy game, easy life. And now they're all dead. You know, Lair anytime would be great. If you want to like make that happen in game, that would be great. At least we like can just mangle ogres now. Or yeah, there we go. Bottle it up. Okay, all right, Orc Priest. So we're gonna back off. And there's a reasonable shot. Whew. Anytime we get to 3 pips of piety too, because we might be... that's probably when you get your second book. I don't know, that might be 4 pips. But I would just love to have some more options for dealing damage. Because relying on the stuff that we're relying on is kind of tedious. Let's just stand here so I get the bounces. And bottle this. Oh, I'm shooting sling bullets. Whoops. Shoot stones, please. I don't need to waste sling bullets on a dang adder. Vinestalker Berserker. Well, we will just be running away from that. Where to? Up here? And over here? Orc Priest. Is he coming this way? Looks like no. Let's get out the blowgun. The Orc has seen us. But the Orc Priest is blissfully unaware. So that means we get to take him on in isolation, which is nice. And this guy should just, hey, knock it off. Should just get poisoned to death. There. Ordinary orcs, not a big deal, even if they have a kind of pointless wand. Wand of magic darts. I don't see myself using that very much. Whoops, walked towards an orc priest. Bad tactics. Bad tactics. But it looks like static discharge does a sizable amount of damage. Thank goodness, some boots. Electric eel. Okay, we'll just wait it out over here. Now he's dead. Another hill giant. And let's try to poison him again. We can pillar dance around this thing here. So we've got effectively an infinite runway for getting away from him. And we can stop more or less any time to poison him again. Yeah, he got lost. He forgot all about us. Oops. Well, let's go this way. Yeah, I don't actually like that pillar dancing because I couldn't build enough distance that I felt comfortable shooting more needles. Whereas this way I can be like, yeah, I'm far enough away now. Let's needle him. Oops. Okay. There we go. Now finish him off. Got him. Okay, fine. And something that I'm starting to forget and need to remember is that we do have Kiku for corpse delivery, so that if there's something we need to, we need some extra oomph to deal with, we can just ask for some corpses and then rot them. But the fact that static discharge never misses makes it very nice for certain enemies who, or for just like when something's almost dead and you're like, I want to finish it off. The damage it does is fairly variable, so it might like kind of, quote, miss in that it does no damage or very little. But I think it's fine most of the time. I feel like a lot of my air elementalists, they end up like, a lot of their combat ends up being what seems to me like what I classify as like pissing contests, where I'm just standing next to enemies as this fragile little mage, spamming. Can't reach some places. You're a dang bat. Get in there. Where else can you not reach? Come on. Oh, right there. Got it. Where like you stand just toe-to-toe with a somewhat difficult enemy and just spam static discharge, doing damage to both of you until like he dies or you die, and it gets it gets a little bit hairy in Lair doing that against like spiny frogs or something. But you know, it's surprisingly effective. It does a lot more damage to them than it does to you for whatever reason. And I don't know, I would like to avoid getting into those situations because there is always the risk that something goes wrong. And, you know, especially in a tournament game, right? Blah, blah, blah. But, I don't know. Seems okay. Ooh. This is a lot of stuff. And it's great that we can bolt it all to death, but like if the Cyclops gets too close, I'm gonna have to back off. And I think he's making his way in. I'm thinking about whether I might static discharge at some point. But it looks like we're gonna finish him off before he gets here, which is nice. Now he's throwing rocks at me. That's what's happening. Okay, that's why he's not coming any closer. Come on. Oh, perfect timing. 0 magic, kill all the enemies. Easy, easy game. So that was literally 20 casts of shock. You know, we haven't really developed any more sophisticated techniques for killing enemies than our level 1 starting spell. But the fact that it can carry you this far is, like, it's really nice. It doesn't do as much damage as some level 1 spells, but it certainly does more damage than others. Like, compare it to Magic Dart, and it outscales Magic Dart quite a lot. Especially in that it can deal with groups. Freeze is sort of like a delicate question, because Freeze can't deal with groups. And it's a melee spell, which is not very common. You can only use it when you're adjacent to an enemy. And even its damage is not, like, amazing. But its damage ignores armor, and it never misses. Which are both, like, they're two really valuable effects. I don't know if effect is the right word, but attributes, perhaps. So you can quite comfortably take out Orc Warriors, for example, in melee range as an Ice Elementalist. Thank you, Kiku. What did we get today? Okay. Excruciating Wounds, not going to help. That gives your weapon the Pain Brand temporarily, which we won't have. Bolt of Draining, that's a ranged option that will sort of scale into the mid-game. Not really the end game, but the mid-game. Sikatuvi's Embrace. I'm not totally happy with that spell. It's all right. It uses up all the corpses in line of sight and then, like, pulls them towards you and covers your body with armor made of corpses. It's pretty cool, like, thematically. It's sort of strong-ish. It's not that great. If you'd usually do better to, like, branch out into Ice Magic and pick up Azukubu's armor or something. Or find some better use for all those corpses, like Animate Dead. But I don't know. A melee-focused character can sort of use... I don't know. I just don't understand how to use the Embrace, and I'm not going to be using it here. Dispel Undead is a great spell to have for later. It does a ton of damage to undead enemies. And Death Channel is probably my favorite necromancy spell. I mean, well, Regeneration is probably stronger because it's level 3 and it applies for, like, everybody, but Death Channel I have a lot of fun with, so that's one that I would look forward to using in this game. Basically, you cast it, and then for a duration, every enemy that you kill comes back as a ghost on your side. And the ghosts are not permanent, but they last a fair while. So that's different from Animate Dead, which you didn't get, sadly. But you cast it as a single turn thing, and then all corpses you can see at that time are immediately turned into zombies or skeletons. Death Channel is, I think, a stronger spell because you can cast it before combat and it's effective all throughout combat instead of having to periodically waste a turn to make zombies. I also kind of think that ghosts are smarter than zombies, but I'm not actually sure if that's true. Neither of them are very smart. So that was Nergal back there. She's like an orc necromancer, and I don't really want to deal with her. This looks like the entrance to Lair, actually. They're just a bunch of plants. Plants, bats, rats. It screams Lair to me. Yeah, so this should be like, yeah, it's stone, right? So Lair should be in there somewhere. I don't know if this is the vault with the Deep Elf Mage or Fighter or something. It might be. I don't know if that's supposed to be like Legolas or something. I don't understand what Deep Elves have to do with Lair. Yeah, we're gonna leave. We do have cold resistance, so White Ugly Thing is a good color of Ugly Thing, I suppose, but there's really no such thing as an ugly thing you want to fight at this level. And I would like to just get to Lair. I don't feel a need to finish Dungeon 11. Like, it's sort of taking it out of me in terms of magic and not so much HP necessarily. We've been pretty careful, but tactics and all that. There's a rat corpse right there. If I could lure him into standing on it, that would be pretty cool. Okay. There we go. That should work. Right? So let's hit him with a poisoned needle. Missed. And now let's corpse rot. Wow, that hurts a lot. I maybe overestimated this ability to do things. Okay. But now he's slowed and badly poisoned from the miasma, I hope. Foul pestilence. Is that miasma? I don't really know if there's a difference. I think there's a difference, but I don't know what the deal is. Oh, and we're almost out of magic points because it was because our guardian spirit was soaking up some damage, which is fine with me, honestly. Let's hit him with some more poison while he's slowed, and then get out of here. Okay, so this is going all right, but not great. Oh, I'm not a bat right now. I thought I was a bat. Whoops. Did I fail to use my ability again? No, I'm just dumb? Alright. But now a static discharge ought to kill him. It didn't, but the poison did, so that's fine. Okay. Let's drink some blood and rest up. And head back over to Lair. I guess I want to sort of collect these needles. I don't know. It's not a big deal, and we'll get them later when we explore this floor again after finishing Lair, so I'm not worried about it. There's Nergal. Get away from the Lair. Ugh. I'm not sure what I should be training right now, actually. Like, necromancy. What necromancy spells am I trying to get? I guess I was trying to get Control Undead online, which could help deal with Nergal, because she summons ghosts, spectral orcs, and if I could control them, maybe I could deal with them that way, but she would just summon more. I need to get to Lair. Tell you what, guys. So I'm also playing in the 0.17 release tournament, sort of half-heartedly. And at this very moment, one of my clan members, you know, we're not playing very seriously, but we sort of joined up on a team. is apparently in a life-threatening situation in his game and is asking for some help. And I'm not quite sure what to do with this game at the moment, so this will give me a little bit of time to think about how to deal with Nergal. And so in the next video, I guess we're going to deal with Nergal and then somehow get to Lair. And, you know, gosh, this video has gone long as well. It's just really slow progress on this character, I guess. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.